Now let's bring in our friend, Democratic Congressman Robert Garcia of California. He, of course, the ranking member on the House Oversight Committee. Welcome back to the show. Good to see you on this Saturday, Congressman. So the voters, as you know, are marching right now in Alabama. They are protesting President Trump's relentless gerrymandering push. Moving forward, just how aggressive should Democrats be in states like, say, New York or Illinois, Colorado to counter Republicans? And what about our state of California, my home state, too? Could California do more in the years ahead?
We're going to have to go all in and be as aggressive, if not more aggressive, than Republicans and Donald Trump have been. I mean, what's happening right now is a complete travesty. The gutting of the Voting Rights Act, it just really hits us home when you think about representation, particularly Black representation, access to votes, the ability for folks to have someone that represents them and their worldview and the way that they have lived and shared experience is so critical, especially in the South. I mean, this attack by the Supreme Court is an attack on Black representation. And beyond that, we're talking about who controls the House. Look, California did its job. We responded to Texas. The Republicans have taken this state to state to state. So that means that New York, Illinois, Colorado, and perhaps even California, we're going to have to continue to be in this fight to ensure that we match Republicans and the damage they're doing across the country.
So, Congressman, listen to Trump's new message for Republicans across this country. Here it is.
I said, you know what? If they don't want to redistrict, they're not for us.
Okay, they're not for us. What does it tell you that a president who pushes election lies is now demanding a new litmus test of sorts from Republicans to tilt the playing field in their favor?
And he's threatening them across the country. I mean, you're seeing it right now in state houses, right? I mean, I think what he's saying is that you're either with Donald Trump and his plans to not just redistrict, but quite frankly, to change the makeup of what Congress actually looks like and who's represented, then you're going to be in his crosshairs. And you're seeing that in state capitals. He ran a bunch of state legislator candidates when he didn't get the outcome that he wanted. And so he's going to continue to do that. And I think, unfortunately, you're going to see these conservative governors, these conservative state houses continue to redistrict before we're supposed to do so. Redistricting should never have been a gerrymandering process. It's supposed to happen once every 10 years, state to state. And now we're in this race to the bottom. And it's not just going to be this year. It's going to be next year and the year after. We're going to have a ton more states redistrict for the next 2028 election. So we have to pass national redistricting reform. This has got to be taken out of the hands of whatever governor and whoever controls the legislature. It's got to be done at a national level. This is really, I think, a very difficult time for our democracy. And again, it's Donald Trump destroying our norms and destroying what we know of this country.
And it is dividing the country even further with these actions. But let's turn now, sir, to the Epstein investigation, because all House Oversight Democrats are calling for Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick to resign over his Epstein testimony. What should the American people know about his interview and how it fits into the overall probe?
Look, no one should be serving the American people, certainly not as a cabinet secretary, when you are essentially a known liar and unwilling to tell the truth, when you lie to the public, and when you're not honest in a deposition in front of the Congress. We all have seen Howard Lutnick in multiple times say that after 2005, he had no interaction with Jeffrey Epstein, that he didn't know him very well. And now we just know that that wasn't true. We know that he went to the island, that he went into business with Jeffrey Epstein, that he communicated, his wife communicated with him. And so then him go into this interview with Congress and not admit to that and evade, look, he needs to resign or be fired. He has lied to the American people, and that's not something that a cabinet secretary should be doing. And beyond that, this points back to this massive cover-up. Howard Lutnick has been involved at the White House, continuing to cover up for the DOJ, telling lies, and he's got to go.
Well, what's next then for House Oversight in the next 2 weeks as you're preparing for Pam Bondi's testimony on May 29th? How do you plan to hold Bondi accountable if she tries to evade questions?
We have first a legal subpoena in place. She has to come and testify. The concern right now is that the chairman of our committee has not agreed to ensuring that the testimony is videotaped under oath and then released to the public. So we expect Pam Bondi will likely show. She has told us directly she's planning on doing so. But what the chairman won't agree to, or Republicans won't agree to, is that she's under oath and videotaped. What kind of interview is that, where it's going to be in secret, where she may not be under oath, where she may not be answering questions directly, where she knows that her actual answers won't be then accessible and actually be able to be viewed by the American people and survivors? This is, again, part of them trying to cover for this Trump White House. Pam Bondi needs to come to her interview, be on the record, be under oath, and be videotaped so that can be released to the American people. And we will not accept anything less than that.
What about the guard who will be testifying on Monday, the one who was working the night that Jeffrey Epstein died in prison?
Right. So we have, obviously, this is the prison guard. In fact, the last person to actually see and interact with Jeffrey Epstein before he died was this prison guard. And we'll be in front of our committee this upcoming week. We have a bunch of actual depositions and hearings, interviews coming up. But this, of course, is important. There's been a lot of discussion. There's been obviously new reports about a suicide note and the authenticity. Obviously, there's been some independent reporting that's happened about that note, and we've seen that. And so talking to the prison guard and understanding what happened, why there were so many errors leading up to Jeffrey Epstein's death, I think will be very helpful to this investigation.
Okay, we'll see what comes of it. Congressman Robert Garcia, our friend, good to see you. Thank you so much.